Hey listeners, welcome back to The Dreadful Dialogue, a podcast where we chat about all things horror. And today, we don't have a brand new voice, we have a returning voice. We have Kristen. Hey, how are you doing, Kristen?
Hi, I'm good. How's it going?
Not bad, not bad. You know, hanging in there. It's the middle of summer or in summer. I don't know. Is this the end of summer? It feels the middle because of the weather.
Yeah, I know. Well, it's been hot here since like April, so
Mm-hmm.
you know.
Yeah,
But yeah, we're getting close
yeah,
to back
yeah,
to school.
yeah.
I
Oh,
can't wait.
the
Well, thank
dread.
you so much for having me back. I'm so excited.
Oh, I am too. I always have a great time whenever you come on. And it hit me right now. I'm like, we're kind of some vampy chicks. This is our third vampire movie we've done together.
Oh my goodness. We have a
Fright
theme
Night.
going
Yeah,
on.
we did Fright
Yep.
Night and then Once Bitten.
Once bitten. Mm-hmm.
And now today we are doing 1987 The Lost Boys.
Woohoo-wee!
Yeah.
I'm so excited. This movie is a whole mood. It really is.
That's the perfect
I
word.
love I love it. It's everything.
Yeah, I think people, if like you're a modern day watcher of this and you didn't watch it and you didn't live through the 80s or you're not like into the 80s aesthetic, you might not like it. And
Right.
it's not really a great movie. Like, if you think about it, I love it. I think it's a great movie, but I can see there's a lot of people are like, what's the big spill? Like, it's just these grungy guys and like vampires and
Right.
it's kind of Goonies. I don't know. I love it though. I love
I
it.
do too. And it's funny that you brought that up because this morning I was thinking if this movie was made present day, like even within like the past 10 years,
Hmm.
it probably would have flopped majorly.
Yeah.
I don't think it would have this cult classic following at all. People would be like, "What the fuck?
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
not going to see that shit."
Yeah.
But yeah, I totally get what you mean.
I think though what's cool though about it is even though it's 80s and like we've covered 80s
Hmm.
vampire movies, this has its own aesthetic than the others because it's like in any
It really
decade
does.
there's multiple looks, right? And this has
Right.
like the grungy, no not grungy, like metal hairband look to it, right?
Yeah. Yeah, totally.
Were you into any of those kind of bands?
No, not really. I was more, well, I was into like grunge alternative, and then my mom really liked a lot of new wave. So I grew
Mm-hmm.
up like listening to The Cure and Depeche Mode and like even like the Talking Heads and stuff like
Yes.
that. So that was more my jam. I wasn't really into like Poison or Motley Crue and Van Halen and stuff like that, but I can respect it
Yeah,
for the
yeah,
time, you know?
yeah. Yeah, it wasn't
Yeah.
really my jam, my thing either. Growing up, I had fun reading. Like, if I read like the Motley Crue books, like Tommy Lee's
Mm.
book on his own, their book is together. I think it was an interesting era. I listen to some of it now. Like if it's on the radio, I'll listen to. But it's definitely not
Sure.
something I go out of my way to listen to. But it was
Right,
totally a
right.
part of that scene. I even remember I had a friend who had like an older brother, and she had the posters of or he had the posters of Motley Crue, and I was like, I thought they were women, like their makeup and like a totally different look, right?
Right,
They don't go as
right.
heavy on this, but let's go ahead and I'm gonna give a quick little synopsis. Of course, like usual, we're spoiling the movie. Let me give a little synopsis of the movie, then we'll get even more into our conversation. After a recent divorce, a mother and her two teenage sons, their names are Michael and Sam, they moved to the seaside town of Santa Carla, California, to live with their eccentric grandfather. And Santa Carla, it's known as the murder capital of the world. It has this very dark and rebellious mood undertone. And their mom, Lucy, she starts a new romance with this guy named Max, and the brothers are trying to find their way while they're there at this new city. The older brother's name is Michael. He's kind of trying to be more rebellious. Like rebellious. Okay, I guess I can't pronounce that word.
You invented a new word.
There we go. I know I'm terrible with my speech sometimes.
Oh, I love it.
He's
Perfect.
yeah, thank you. He's
You're
immediately
welcome.
drawn to this girl named Star. She's very beautiful, and she hangs out with this local biker gang with the good hair, the hairband type hair.
Oh, yeah.
And they're led by a charismatic leader, David. And he's trying to win over Star, and he kind of gets initiated into this gang somewhat by drinking this mysterious drink. And unbeknownst to him, this starts to turn him into a vampire. And meanwhile, his younger brother, Sam, he befriends these quirky brothers, the Frog Brothers, and they're really into comic books, and they claim to be vampire hunters. And they warn Sam, they're like, hey, This place is infested with vampires, and I'm pretty sure those guys your brother's hanging out with that they're vampires. And Michael does start to show us some vampire traits: sensitive to light, revulsion to food, sleeping during the days, kind of got a desire for blood. He's real moody. And Sam and the Frog Brothers team up and they say, "Hey, we got to figure out to save your brother. We got to kill the head vampire before his transformation is complete." And they find themselves in a battle, and it culminates in a showdown with the entire vampire gang at the grandfather's house. So that was my synopsis. I meant for it to be a little more succinct, but it worked.
I mean, you really summed it up well there, Alyse.
Yeah. So if you've never seen the movie and you don't plan on watching it, there you go. Or if you needed a refresher before we get into this.
Right. Exactly.
Yeah. So when do you remember the first time you saw this movie?
I was definitely way too young to be watching this movie. I remember probably being like 6, 7, the most, watching this. And I of course I didn't understand it at the time. I was like, ooh, the Coreys. Because there was such a big deal back then. I was like,
yeah.
And I was like, ooh, Jason Patrick. I mean, Julia Roberts really effed up that relationship, but that's a whole other topic. We'll get into that later. But yeah. And then and I've kept watching it throughout the years and always loved it. It's super cheesy. It's campy, but it's not the same kind of camp like Once Bitten or Fright Night. It's in a different league. It's more gothy.
Yes.
And people do say like this is a horror comedy, but I feel like the comedic stuff is very dry. Like you have to really pay attention to find any of the humor, and you know what I mean, except when it involves the Frog Brothers.
You nailed it. You're reading my mind right now. Yeah.
They don't hide their humor at all because they're just laughable. Especially their outfits and their little militia, quote unquote, that they've made up. But yeah, so I just loved it. I'm a spooky chick. I've loved all this stuff, and this is one of them that I go back to. I probably watch it. I wouldn't say like every year, but like every now and then I'm like, oh, I want to watch this again.
Yeah, it's a comfort movie.
Definitely.
Comfort when you put it on and you can be doing other things. Yeah, I honestly don't remember the first time I watched it, but I just know I've always liked it since I was a kid. The same thing. I don't think I understood everything. It didn't hurt. I agree with you. I think when I was younger, and I'll break down some of the characters for us. So Michael's played by Jason Patrick, as you mentioned. The head vampire, or spoiler, who we think is the head vampire, right, is David, and he is played by... Oh my gosh.
Kiefer Sutherland.
I can't read my notes. Where is that on my note? Kiefer Sutherland. And I thought he was the hottest one. I don't know. And then we got the Coreys, right? Corey Haim is the younger brother Sam. Corey Feldman is one of the Frog Brothers.
Yeah, he's Edgar.
Edgar is Frog. That okay? Edgar Frog, right? Yeah. And then Alan Frog is played by Jameson Newlander, which I don't know who he is. I don't know what else he's been in.
No, and I love the nod to Edgar Allan Poe with that.
Oh my gosh, you just blew my mind. I never even caught that. Well, I barely caught that it's the Lost Boys, like as in Peter Pan. Like they never wanted to grow up. They're vampires. I was like, that blew, kind of like Wendy. They're trying to do that with Lucy, with the mom, trying to make her the mom. Wendy was kind of
very
not
like
the mom,
whimsical.
but like the womanly figure. Yeah, whimsical. Yeah, you're right. She's kind of witchy and whimsy. Yeah, but I love that you brought up the two Coreys are in this. They were in, I think I had to Google it. I think it said they were in like 12 or 13 projects together, and I think like surprised. 7 movies. I can think of. Pop quiz. How many can you think of that they were in besides this one?
Oh, girl, there's too many. I can't even list them.
License to Drive.
License to Drive, yes. I remember
Dream a
that
Little
one.
Dream.
That one, yes.
And I don't remember beyond that. But I know there's more. And this one I could think of. Those are probably the 3 most known, I would
They're
think.
probably the most popular, yeah.
Yeah, but it's crazy. And I think this was the first one they were in together, too. If I recall.
You're probably correctly. Right, because this was 1987.
Yeah. And you could tell Corey Feldman's kind of plain, like... The Goonies came out in 1985. This kind of also has Goonies vibes, and he's
Yes.
kind of playing that same character that he played in Goonies when he played Mouth. I don't know if you've seen Goonies before,
Yes. Yes, I
where he's
have. Yeah.
like the bossy, like we're gonna find
Yeah.
the map and we're gonna do this. He's kind of the same way, like, listen, kid, like you gotta get ready. There's vampires here. I mean, that I'm not quoting his lines exactly, but that's like the attitude he
Right.
has with Sam when he's trying to warn him about Santa Carla. So
Right.
I found
He
that
has this
interesting.
like he has this air of confidence, but he's also such a dork where you're like, thank goodness you have some confidence there, sweetheart.
Yeah, they're both a
But
pair of
yeah.
dorks, the Frog Brothers.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I love them. I love them so much.
Yeah, and they're like, I like again, nod to the 80s. He's wearing like the headband and like the cut
Yeah.
off camo. It's kind of Rambo-ish. They're not
Yeah.
into the hairband stuff like the vampires
No.
are. Yeah.
No.
I think I liked David though, and now as an adult, I like probably the dark-haired one, Marco. Was that Mark? No.
Oh yeah.
I think it was Marco. I don't know. I
It's
parable.
Marco. And you know what's so funny? When I was younger, I used to think that Alan Frog was Ralph Macchio from Karate Kid because they really look
Oh,
alike. They do look not
yeah.
like identical, but they look very similar. Like if you look real quick, you're like, is that Ralph Macchio?
No, you're right. As soon as you
Yeah.
said that, it clicked in my head. I saw and the same thing, right? Like wearing the headband, and he wears in Karate Kid. He has to wear his. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know the proper terminology for karate
Me
gear,
neither.
whatever.
Me
I'm just gonna
neither.
call it a headband. I'm sure there's a proper term for their outfits. I don't. I'm not a
Right.
martial arts person, so I
No.
don't know the term for that, guys.
It's all good.
Yeah, and Star was beautiful too. She's
Jamie
played by Jamie
Gertz.
Gerth. Yeah, yeah. Her hair's all flowy and
What a babe.
yeah. But I love too. This has like it's one of my favorite summer movies to watch too. It has summer vibes. They're at the beach. I know you grew up going to the Jersey Shore, right?
Yeah, I lived right there. And the boardwalk, too, was so
Yeah,
nostalgic watching that. I was like, oh, I kind of miss home just a little. But
yeah,
yeah,
yeah. Like I don't.
love
We
that.
have Santa Monica, or we have like the boardwalk. And we have a Ferris wheel, but it's so crowded and touristy. Like it's like
Yeah.
a nightmare to go there. Even it's like there's traffic and there's nowhere to park. Like all the fun stuff's too busy. And
Yeah.
I've never even gone to where this was actually filmed in Santa Cruz, California.
Okay.
They just changed the name, and they also filmed Us there.
Oh, okay.
um,
Okay.
and Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Go figure. So
Oh.
I gotta go at some
Woo!
point and visit. Like I think they play the movie like on the beach. Like they bring out a big screen and you can watch the Lost Boys, and they
That's so
pull out like
cool.
some decor for it and stuff. So that's on my bucket list. One day I'll go. I'll have to go and head north up to Santa Cruz and check it out.
Do it.
Yeah. So it's a
Girls
favorite summer
trip.
movie. Yeah. Yeah. Road trip. So what do you think about this movie in terms of it being a coming of age movie? Do you agree that it's a coming of age movie?
I do, and in some aspects, because I think it was probably the first one where they really embraced like the whole metal aspect and like having this. They still kept with most of the vampire rules, which I
Mhm.
can appreciate,
Yeah.
and I feel like their aesthetic paved the way for like Interview with the Vampire and like things like that. So yeah, I believe so. I think it is.
Yeah, I think it is too, because like we're seeing Michael deal with like he's trying to fit in and be cool. Does he want to hang out with these
Yeah.
vampires? Is he just doing it to like get closer to Star?
Right.
Sam's figuring himself out. They're in a new town. I think it definitely has coming of age vibes. Like
Yeah.
other than like the scene where all the vampires start to get killed off, it's not heavy on the gore. The
No.
language is very like PG. I think you could get away with a kid kind of watching this. I don't think it's terribly scary. I don't even know what it's rated though. Now I'm like, let me look that up.
It's probably PG-13 the most.
I would think at the most it is. Yeah, I'm usually
Yeah.
pretty good at having that on me, but I didn't.
That's
Well,
okay.
it's rated R.
Oh,
Huh.
well then.
And they
Maybe
call it a horror
because of the
comedy. But again, we
they
already talked
do.
about comedy.
They do, which is wild to me. Like
Yeah,
you'd have to have a real dry sense of humor to think it's funny.
yeah. I think it's more like a drama. Even the song that they play, I don't know. The music is such a big part of this too. They play that same
Yeah.
song throughout the whole film.
Cry Little Sister,
Cry Little
right?
Sister, right? And
Yeah.
it's like dramatic and like I don't know. To me, every time I watch it, I'm almost like the words I guess go with it. Like he's trying not to kill because we find out in order for Michael to completely transform into a vampire, he has to do his first kill.
Yeah.
You know, so he got initiated by drinking the blood, and then now drinking blood unbeknownst to him. And then once he does a kill, then he becomes a vampire. And so the song that's playing throughout, it's saying like, "Thou shalt not kill." You should be singing. I'm not the singer here.
I don't know if I could sing that one.
Yeah.
I've never tried.
Yeah, but like it kind of throws the mood off. But then I'm like, okay, it is kind of like you said, it's kind of gothy. It's kind of like this weird 80s gothy. It's not like Nosferatu, old school classic gothy. It's like it's its own vibe of gothy. And yeah, I don't know. I think that's what makes it a little more coming of age in that sense. It's the song is kind of like he's on the edge. Is he gonna become a vampire? Is he not? Like, and I don't think he even realizes that. It's not until the Frog Brothers tell Sam, like, look, this is what's gonna happen. We gotta kill the head vampire in order to save your bro.
Exactly. And to be honest, with the music that they chose, I feel like it was really tailored for the movie. It's not like they just were like, oh, we're gonna pick this from the radio station kind of thing. Yeah, which I can appreciate that.
Yeah, I liked it.
Yeah.
Well, speaking of music, so we have to talk about the iconic scene when Michael and Sam are first at the beach area, and there's like an outdoor stage, and you know, we have the infamous sexy saxophone man.
Oh, Tom Capello, what are we gonna do with you?
He's still out there playing music, girl.
I know he is, and how we see him performing in the movie is how he performs in general. And you know, he would go on tour with Tina Turner and be all oiled up like that and be like, oh yeah. I mean, he definitely paved the way for sexy saxophone. I think he's Kenny G's idol.
I think he's the only sexy saxophone player I know of. I mean, I don't think
sorry.
Yeah.
Sorry, Bill Clinton.
Yeah. Oh,
I'm kidding. Bad joke.
No, I've met Bill Clinton.
Did you?
Yeah, like I have okay, now I'm gonna have to post a picture. Yeah.
Oh my God.
I met him when I was in the military. He came to the base we were at in Kosovo.
That makes sense.
And like he was crowded by the locals. Like the locals love him. Like I don't want to go into too much of like the background of his history with that country, but you know, there was a lot of fighting amongst the two populations there, and he kind of helped quell that, whether you agree with his methods or not. It worked. And a lot of for the most part, from the different people, and I worked a lot with the local population, they loved him. They're like, oh, like he brought peace to us. Like we were fighting with each other, and he basically like he squashed it. So he was like in a crowd, and I'm like, Mr. President, and I'm just like, I get in real quick. And girl, okay, I'm not gonna lie to you, he ain't bad looking for an old dude. I would never holler at any I think Obama's the hottest of the presidents. I think JFK was all right. I think he's overrated. Yeah. But I could see the charisma of why he's Slick Willie.
Oh, yes, he is. In many ways.
I would not holler at any of the presidents. None of them are my type. None of them, I don't know. They're just all too old for us in general. But I can see like, okay, I guess if you were a girl, like, and you were into that, like you wanted a powerful person and he was nice and tall. Like I said, he wasn't busted. There's some really ugly presidents.
Well,
I don't want to start naming them because that's a wrong podcast. But anyway.
Sorry, John Adams. Sorry. Speaking of presidents, real quick, my son was on TikTok the other day scrolling, and he saw a man on TikTok live dressed as Abraham Lincoln, like just a carbon copy of Abraham Lincoln. I'm like, they still do that? They still like walk around pretending to be these very old dead presidents? All right.
Yeah, I don't.
Mad respect.
Yeah, not my thing. The reenactors of all that stuff.
No. But it's so funny seeing.
You should go back to the original sexy saxophone player. Yeah.
The OG sexy saxophone player.
The only sexy saxophone player. sorry. The other ones, Dave Claus and all them. We like their music. Yeah, not my aesthetic, but yeah, the guy has like greasy mullet, curly hair. Like I think he's keeping Johnson & Johnson's baby oil in business. He's got it like all over him, and he's got like the tight. Are they pants? Yeah, they're like tight, like wrestling, like wrestler pants. He almost looks like a wrestler,
I was just about to say that. Yes, like WWF, like WrestleMania, circa 1988, like.
Ravishing Rick Rude status. Yeah. I don't know if you know your wrestlers or not.
My brother really loved it, so
I
I
did
know a
growing
little
up.
bit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. I loved when it was WWF, and now it's WWE,
Yeah.
and I don't have the time to watch it. I don't want when
No,
my
no,
little
no,
one grows
no.
up, maybe.
Love it. Yeah,
Yeah.
he definitely had this whole vibe, and I really love that he basically set the tone in the sense where he's like, there's going to be mullets, there's going to be oiled up bodies, there's going to be obnoxious, ugly clothing. There's going to be a saxophone, and there's going to be this song that plays throughout the whole dang movie.
Yeah.
Enjoy.
Yeah, yeah. The only thing he needed, but because he wasn't wearing a shirt, he needed shoulder pads because the shoulder pads are being rocked by Max and the mom Lucy, big time.
Oh, I was about to say, Diane Wiest has you covered in the shoulder pad department.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. The shoulder pads are real.
And shout out to Max. I realized that he was the dad slash grandpa on Gilmore Girls.
Oh, I'm not a Gilmore. I know there's a big.
Oh,
I know they have
okay.
a big following. It's one of those shows. I'm like, oh, I always say I'm gonna watch, but then I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get sucked in for a couple months watching it.
I watched it on maternity leave when I had my
Nice.
youngest,
Nice.
so
No,
and I
I
was
hear
like,
it's great.
wait, is that him? Is that him? And sure enough, there he was. I'm like, oh, and
Yeah, he's
he
been
did.
in a lot.
Yeah, I was just about to say he's been in a lot of stuff.
What is his name? Let me look. Edward Herman,
Yep, yep.
according
And
to the old Wikipedia.
he passed away in 2014.
Oh, I didn't know he'd passed. Yeah, I can't think of off the top of my head what he's been in, but he's a big character actor. If people see him, you'll be like, I know I've seen him in stuff. You've seen him in things.
Yeah,
Yeah, so
yeah.
he plays Max. He owns a video store, and that's where he gives Lucy a job. They start to date. Let's talk about the grandpa. He's fun.
Grandpa, if I could be reincarnated into a grumpy, eccentric, weirdo old man, I want to come back as him.
Yeah.
He is everything to me. He is quirky. He is a weirdo. He loves scaring people, which
Right at the beginning, his
right at the beginning.
yeah.
I can appreciate Grandpa so much.
Yeah, he plays dead right at the beginning, right? And they're like,
Yep.
"Oh no, Dad, Grandpa!" And it's like, "Ha ha, I fooled you guys." And
Yeah,
like,
he's like
he's
sucker.
in- yeah,
I
he's
love
into
him so much.
taxidermy. He loves his root beer. Is it root beer, right? Root beer.
Yeah.
Pop?
What the taxidermy was that a beaver? Did he have a taxidermy
Yeah,
beaver? I was
that's-
like, what? What are you doing, Grandpa, with a beaver?
He gives it to Sam. Here, I got you a friend for your room. I'm like, oh my god, I'd have been traumatized. I had my grandma's husband, like my step grandpa, had a room full of taxidermied, or the he had like the mounted animals. Oh my god, and he had a boar. Girl, that thing scared the crap out. He had a big old deer, a bear, and a boar on his head. And it was in like the little guest room where there was the only TV that I could watch because grandma had to watch her stories and novellas and,
Oh, yeah.
and all her stuff
Yeah.
on her TV. So when I went over, I was like torture. I was like, do I want to watch TV or do I want to just stay out here? Because I swore those things were going to come to life. My grandpa gave me a taxidermy to anything, I'd probably freak out.
I would cry. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would. I'm actually terrified of dead animal. I know that sounds ridiculous, but like roadkill and stuff, I'm like terrified of it. I don't know why. They're not going to hurt you. They're dead, but
Yeah.
I'm just like gross. I'm like, no, thank you.
Yeah, but then I always have this like debate with my husband Paul. I'm like, when our kitties pass away, can we taxidermy him? He's all no, and I'm like, but then they'll never leave. Confessional hour.
Imagine you're just sitting there like, oh yes, thank
You
you.
could be the guest on the pod. I could just put it right here.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to be on that episode. Just
He's all, I'm
saying.
not gonna guest anymore unless you get rid of the cat.
I quit.
No, I'm not
kidding.
gonna
I'm
do it.
kidding.
But I have thought about it. But he's like, no, we can't do that to our babies. I'm like, okay. But yeah, the grandpa is so quirky. Like he's like,
Yeah.
oh, when the TV guide comes, don't rip the label off of it. He's like, I know it kind of peels up, and you're tempted to rip it off. He's like, don't rip it
Right.
off. He's like telling them the
Yes.
rules. And they're like, oh, you have a TV? I don't watch TV. That's what the TV guide's for. I'm like, what the heck?
He loves the TV guide. Do you remember when they were so popular? I loved the TV guide.
Yes,
when
I
I was a kid.
did. Yeah, I
did
used to.
too.
I would read the little article, and then like when I was in the military and I couldn't watch TV, I'd be because I was into soaps. Because my mom, I watched that was one of
Yeah.
me and my mom's thing. I'd watch them with
Yeah.
her, and I was here like, Mom send me she'd like rip them out and like put them in the mail for me, and I'd be like keeping up with my soap operas or whatever TV shows I watched. Yeah, the TV
I love
guide is
that.
epic. I loved it.
And the crossword puzzle? Don't get me
Yeah.
started on that.
Yeah,
Whew.
yeah,
But yeah,
yeah.
he's a funny guy. He kind of was up there for me with Peter Vincent on Fright Night, like the same
Yeah.
kind of like vibe. But I feel like Grandpa was more of a weirdo,
Yeah.
but
Because
in a good way. In a good
yeah,
way.
because he wasn't supposed to play like a guy on TV playing a creep. Like he was just being
Right.
grandpa, being his eccentric self with his cucaracha, la cucaracha
Yeah.
horn on his vehicle and getting in the car and saying, let's drive. Okay, we're going to take the car for a ride. And then like he starts it up and turns it off. He's like, that's it. Like we're not taking it
Yeah.
into town. It's like, okay, grandpa,
Yeah. Let's go.
don't touch
Let's
my
go
root
up.
beer.
Let's go a block and go back home. Cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's a wonderful side character. He made my heart happy. I think he's probably one of my most favorite. The scenes that he's in are my most favorite.
Yeah.
In a comedic sense.
Yeah. Yeah. Him and the Frog Brothers are probably the
Mm-hmm.
only like sense of comedic entertainment brought in. The rest, like
Yeah,
you said,
yeah.
it's very dry. It's more serious. That's where you get more of the dramatic coming of age vibes with the conversations. So let's talk about the vampires themselves, right? So David, again, we said played by Kiefer Sutherland, and also shout out to the guy who Alexander Winter. Am I saying that right?
Yeah, Alex Winter. Yeah, yeah. Alexander Winter.
I feel like he was Dwayne though, not Marco. I don't know. The dark haired one, and then there's the blonde one. That's the guy from Bill and Ted. He is
Right,
Bill
right.
from Bill and
Yes.
Ted. So he's one of the
Yes.
vampires. We have the dark haired one. I feel terrible. I'm mixing up. I don't because they're kind of in the background. They don't. You only hear their
Yeah.
names once or twice. Mainly it's
Yeah.
David that we focus on.
And
So
Star.
and Star, yeah, and then
Right.
Laddie is the little boy that kind of hangs around with the crew with the
Yeah.
Civil War era
I think so.
uniform.
Yeah, it is
That
kind
was
of
a
like
confusing
that.
character, right?
I'm like, well, why are you here? Shouldn't you be at school? I don't
Yeah,
know.
I don't know.
I was
It
just
was
like, why is he here?
I think we find out he actually is a vampire already, right?
Yeah,
But we
yeah.
didn't throughout the movie. They make it seem like he's like Star. Star is kind of like she's in the same process of Michael, where she is not
Yeah.
officially a vampire. She's apparently drinking the blood at some point, and she's kind of under. And they can kind of control her. It seems like, or she's scared of them, maybe. And she looks after Laddie, which is a little boy.
Yeah.
But I love the scene when they go to their little underground lair.
Yes.
And I have to ask you, whenever you eat noodles or rice, do you think about this scene?
It's so funny. Last night when I was rewatching it again, I was like, oh, I could really go for some Chinese food. And then I saw the maggots and I'm like, never mind. No, thank you. I mean, I have half Asian kids, so we eat a lot of like rice and stuff like that. I never thought about it, but now that I've rewatched it, I might.
Yeah, I'm gonna look in my takeout containers a little more
Yeah.
closely.
Be like, what's in there? Are you in there?
I still
Yeah,
think about, even though I know that's not gonna happen. I don't want people to think we're like, don't
Right.
don't eat the takeout food.
Oh no,
But,
no, not at all.
Yeah,
But yeah, I do appreciate that being kind of like, aside from like the fake grandpa's fake death, being like the real first little jump scare. I can appreciate that. But yeah, I really loved like that little special effect.
yeah. It's like
Where
the
they're, like-
worms and the maggots,
and
and
the
yeah, you're like,
maggots.
oh, that's kind of gross, okay. And then you're like, oh, it's not there, and he's like, what's the matter? He's like, what's the matter, Michael? You good?
Yeah. And it kind of shows like David is cocky and manipulative, and he
Yes.
will use his power in any way he wants to, because
Yeah.
he probably sees Michael. I don't know if it was really displayed within the movie itself, but I got the vibe like, oh, maybe he actually thought Michael was a threat to him.
I don't know. That was always, and that's where the twist comes in. And I don't want to get into
Yeah.
the twist yet about who
Right.
about the head vampire, but you do wonder. You're like, was he doing it because somebody was telling him to do it? Was he threatened
Right.
because he was going to holler at Star? Did he really like him and just had fun bullying him? Some people are that way. Like,
Right.
they think it's okay to treat the people you care about the most the worst. I don't know. Like, it was very confusing. But I love that they're underground. I love the big poster of Jim Morrison. I'm a big Jim Morrison
Oh
Doors
yeah,
fan. The
People are
music, people are
strange.
strange. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That whole scene is super iconic. I always wanted to have like my own little layer like that. I went to, they had it in LA years ago. It was called like the I like scary movies experience. And they have like different,
Oh,
where
cool.
they've recreated different sets and they recreated that set. And I got to sit there. It was really cool. I felt like I was like one of the Lost Boys.
I love that. That's so awesome. I really love the aesthetic
Mm-hmm.
within the layer too. I was like, I kind of want that to be my living room.
Right? It like be away from the world, and how they say it was like
Yeah.
a big resort and then an earthquake ruined it, and which
Yeah.
we had an earthquake today. Isn't that funny now that I think about it?
Oh.
Um,
Whew. Yeah, I
so
love that.
yeah,
I really think it added to the aesthetic and like tone of the movie. I can really appreciate the set designer
yeah.
and like yeah, I loved it. I thought it was amazing.
It was very consistent throughout, and the vampires
Yes.
themselves, it was a very consistent like 80s like teenager of that
Mhm.
era. Like they all dressed the same, their layer looked the same, their
Mhm.
riding of the motorcycles, the way they egged each other on, they were like that whole like 80s, I lack a better word, bro. We say bro now, they didn't say bro back then.
Yeah.
I don't know what you would call that kind of playfulness they had with each other.
I told it was like, you know, when you watch Grease and it's the T-birds. It was
Yeah.
almost like that. Yeah, I totally get what you mean. And they had like a very similar, like brooding personalities.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they
Yeah.
did. They did. Yeah.
Yeah.
I really loved whenever they were doing stuff too. We got to see things from their point of view. That was
Mm-hmm.
a cool visual thing. I don't think you saw that too often at that point, where you didn't, we'd see them flying sometimes, but you would get like the point of the camera was like their point of view, right?
Yeah.
Flying over the city when they go to attack a couple at the beginning, when they're going to go to their house, because eventually that's what happens, right? Once they start seeing Michael's, it's realized that Michael's going to be a vampire. That's when,
Right.
well, wait, I'm jumping a little ahead. Let me take a step before that. Hold on, hold
Sure.
on. So they think Michael's of becoming a vampire. Sam and the Frog Brothers are like, look, we're gonna kill the head vampire. And at this point, they think it's Max, right? The guy that's recently
Yes.
started dating the mom. He comes over for dinner, and they get themselves all prepped up, right? He's wearing garlic. They have a mirror. They're gonna try to pull all
Yeah.
the little vampire tricks, kind of like Fright Night, right? Where they're trying to figure
Right,
out
right.
if Jerry Dandridge is a
Yeah.
vampire. He gets invited in though by Michael to come into the house, and they pull all their little tricks and they realize Max is not the head vampire. So
Yeah.
that's when they
He
make, oh, go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say like Max totally duped them, right?
They make the assumption he's not and that it's David. So they go
Yeah.
after the guys in the coven to their underground lair when they're asleep, and that's when they get Alex Winter.
Yes.
He's the first of the vampires, I think, to die. And we have the little
Yes.
red flags throughout, right? The grandpa's like kind of watching stuff sometimes from behind.
Like the grandpa, like grandpa actually knows what's up, but
Yeah.
he's just keeping it cool. He's like, yeah, this is normal life.
Yeah. Oh, the dog, right? The
The
dog is like
dog.
the dog's always.
Oh, the
There's two different.
dog.
There's two dogs, right? Max has a dog. Lucy's family,
Yes.
Nanook, I think, is Lucy's dog. I
Yeah.
don't know the
Yeah. The
name of.
husky.
Yeah, and he's like barking at Max. He doesn't. He's not comfortable. And Lucy
Thor.
even goes at one point to Max's house, or is it Thor?
Yeah.
I don't know. Maybe I'm
I think
mixing up.
it. I don't remember. Anyway, yeah.
It's
The
insignificant.
white dog. The
Yeah.
white dog.
And then Max's
Yeah.
dog almost attacks Lucy at some point, right? When she goes to his house to
Yes.
drop him off, like a bottle of, I don't know. She's dropping him off something because she had to cut out of one of the dates early. And so those are some signs that like you don't really realize to attribute to Max till later. Like you kind of think, well maybe he is the head vampire, maybe he's not. But after they go and they kill Alex Winter's character. They go home. They like, hey, we figure out we only got a few hours till sunset, and that's when we get set up for our big showdown. Now they think, okay, we're
Oh
gonna
yeah.
really have to take out David and the rest of them, because at this point they're like, we think it's David, but what if it's not David? So they're like, we're just gonna kill all the vampires, and they only got the one before they all woke up and chased him out. But
Right.
the
Right.
vampires couldn't come out of their underground cave because it was still sunlight. So they're at the house. So
Yeah.
this is where they go ham, right? I love they go to the comedic parts. They go get the holy water. They just like busting in
I
like a
know.
wedding, right? At a Catholic church, and they're just like filling up their canteens. I was like, okay.
They're like nothing to see here, folks. We're just coming for some water, no problem. You know, they're so funny. Like they're so smart yet so dumb.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like the typical teenage boy here. Yeah, I really love that part, and I love their little outfits that they're wearing. It just really feeds into their little militia that they have going on against the vampires. And you can't help but like love them.
Yeah, yeah. Their whole that's where it gets very Goonies, very like
Yes.
buddy movie because they're prepping. Sam's like hacking and he's like smushing he's using a mallet and he's smushing the garlic down and they're filling up the bathtub and they're just getting ready. They're like it's like Home Alone, like gotta get this house ready, stick for the sticky bandits, aka the vampires this time instead to come through the house.
And I think like when you compare the other two movies that other two vampire movies that we covered, this is my favorite friend group.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think they're all so much more likable. Like
I think it's their innocence. They're sweet because they're a lot younger than like the other groups that we've seen. We usually deal with high schoolers, but Sam and the Frog Brothers, they're either like middle schoolers or like freshmen age. I'd say freshman age, yeah. And they're real cute because like at first Sam is just kind of like nerds, like he doesn't want to hang out with these dudes, and then like they're all like, yeah, we're the baddest killers or whatever, and they're like, and people can't see me on video. They're like doing like this like cool handshake thing, and they're like, yeah, we're gonna be badass. They say something along those lines. So yeah, I think they are a fun little buddy group, and I think it has to do with going back to that thought of this kind of being coming of age, or there's these young kids that they've now bonded over this experience, and they're like, we're gonna save the town, we're gonna save our brother. Like, they got this whole thing going on.
Yeah, I feel like they're true heroes in this sense.
They are.
Like, they have good intentions. Which I can appreciate that. They're not just doing it to get the girl. Like in the other movies where they're like, oh, I need to impress this girl. I need to impress this person. This is just like, oh, shit, these are some bad people. Let's take them out to save our town. And I can appreciate that.
That's true. I hadn't even thought about that. Michael's into Star, but that has nothing to do. Yeah, I'm sure he wants to save Star, but that's not the motivation of the Frog Brothers and his brother Sam. They don't want nothing to happen to their town. And again, they really don't. He doesn't want Michael to change. I don't think the Frog Brothers are as concerned about Michael changing. They're more like, look, if he's a vampire, we're going to have to stake him. He's going to have to take one for the team, like for the greater good.
Exactly. Sorry about your luck there, Michael. We're going to take your ass out. But yeah, I really appreciate that aspect. Because, like, the other movies we've watched, like with Charlie, he's like, oh, I got to impress my girlfriend. Or I'm jealous of Jerry because he wants my girlfriend. And then Once Bitten was very sexually charged.
Oh, gosh. Yeah.
His friends were, ooh.
Yeah, they were bad. They were all bad, but one of them was the worst.
Ooh, the one that says gynecologist with the sweatshirt. I'm like, oh my God. Your mother let you go to school like that, sir. Okay.
I couldn't believe I had never noticed that till you pointed that out in our recording. I'm like, oh my God. That's why I love chatting about these movies because we both catch things from different sets of eyes are on it, and we catch things that I never probably would have caught. So I want to talk about, since we're now at the scene where they're in the house and they're going to start killing off these vampires in hopes of actually getting the head vampire. So the first one, I thought his was the coolest death. He got pushed into the bowl. They like get some garlic on him and he's like, garlic doesn't affect us. Ha ha ha. Yeah. And then he gets some holy water on his face and we get a really cool, gory, it looks like it's like a practical effect, right? You can tell it's like makeup or mask or prosthetics. I don't know. I clearly don't do this stuff in the industry, but his face is all pocked and messed up, and then they push him into the tub, and it's wild what happens to the house, right?
It is so good. And like, I felt like this was probably one of the best special effects within the movie.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe that's a stretch, but I really appreciated it. And then like seeing how, what was it? Oh no.
The water?
The water just like leaking from everywhere. It was so cool. It was like bloody water.
It's like flying out of the kitchen sink downstairs. It's coming out of the pipes. It's wild that like his death caused. It's like, oh well, what was in him? Was it the bad soul caused that? It was interesting. Usually they just like in movies when a vampire usually dies in the bathtub, they're just like, and then they like turn into like goo and
disintegrate or something. Yeah.
Disintegrate. Yeah. No, he kind of. I think did he disintegrate? I don't remember, but I was more focused on this water's just like shooting out of everywhere. That was cool.
I really loved that. I thought that was brilliant, especially for this time in the late 80s. Like, I don't recall ever seeing something like that.
No, I don't recall seeing anything like that either. So yeah, I really like that. That was my favorite one, and that's one of
Yeah.
the blondes. It was, so we already lost Alex Winter, which I think was Marco, which I'm still confused. And then that
I
one
think
I
it
think
was
was,
Dwayne.
and then was it Paul?
I
No, I
don't
think
know.
Dwayne is the dark-haired one. I
Oh,
don't
okay,
know.
okay,
Maybe
okay.
I think I wrote these wrong on my notes. I'm looking on the interwebs now. No,
No worries.
Dwayne is the third one to die. So yeah, so the first one was the other
Okay.
blonde, but not Bill from Bill and Ted. So we lose another blonde, and then the next one that dies is Dwayne, and that's the one who I think I'm like,
Yes.
nowadays I've never dated a guy with long hair, have I? No, once I think I dated a guy that looked like Jim Morrison. That's another story. Okay. He had that's probably the longest hair, and I don't know. I'm just so the next guy is a dark haired guy, and he gets killed with the stereo
The
and
stereo
electricity.
death.
Death by stereo.
Yes. Womp womp. I thought that was pretty cool too.
Yeah. It made me think of
I
like Scream, kind of when the TV falls
Yes,
on.
he falls.
Yeah.
I thought the same thing. I'm like, did Scream copy this? Maybe.
Maybe. But
Or
yeah.
inspired it. Like
Could
this
be. It can
inspired
only
that.
reinvent the wheel so many times. I think in movies,
Exactly.
it's a lot of homages and a lot of like callbacks to other movies, right? They're always the best inspiration.
Yeah. I
And
agree.
then we get David's death, right?
Ooh. That was intense. Intense. Well, I kind of okay, this is gonna sound ridiculous, but like when David died, I don't know why. I was just like, man, I kind of feel bad for him.
I was gonna say the same thing, and I know. Okay, you finish your thought, then I'm gonna tell you my thoughts, and I
Okay.
think I know why you did that. Okay, why you thought
Okay.
that? Tell me what
I
you're thinking.
I felt bad for him because I feel like he was really like this lost soul, sad, almost depressed kind of person. Like, sure, he was charismatic in a way, but not in a Jerry Dandridge kind of way, right? Like, he was just very like had like this empty kind of persona. Does that make sense?
Yeah, and I think I know why you thought that, because when he dies, he's the only one where he changes back to a boy, like a teenager. He looks, and
Yes.
the rest of them, they're all ugly or nasty looking, or they're like, his is just
Right.
like they show him, and it's very dramatic. He looks like Kiefer Sutherland. He doesn't look like David. His hair, I think his hair
Right.
might be different. His skin, he doesn't have the vampire look. And then later when we get the
Right.
twist, which I don't want to quite get into, that adds to it. But well, I guess we should get into it. So he dies. He gets killed by like some taxidermy of some sort, right? I think some horns
Yeah.
go through his body. He gets pushed
Yeah.
into it. And that's when we get the dramatic moment where we realize, like, and it's Michael who kills him.
Yes.
And so Michael changes immediately into a vampire. And that's when it hits us like, he's not the head vampire. And we've killed all the vampires. Then who is the head vampire? And so then
Exactly.
Max and Lucy come home. And that's when we get the big twist. We get the reveal that Max is indeed the head vampire.
Yep.
And this is why I agree with what you said, and why I think we feel bad for him, because the way Max, this actor nailed it. He kind of looks at him and he kind of touches David's face and he looks kind of sad. And I don't know if he's genuinely sad or he's kind of like, oh damn. Like they play it kind of ambiguous. And that's when you kind of realize, like, maybe I think David was just like a puppet. Like we find
Yes.
out this whole time Max is running the show. It wasn't David. And that's why I think
Exactly.
we feel bad for him. We're like, he's just this kid that who knows whether he chose to change or if he got changed unknowingly.
Right.
And like all this bad boy persona, it could just be because Max says, like, I
Yeah.
wanted Lucy. I wanted her to be the mom to these boys. And I knew I
Yeah.
needed to get your son. So he might have put him up like, hey, I need you. You're going to get these guys one way or another. You're going to change these two boys because I'm going to get this lady and she's going to be the mom to them.
Yeah. I agree with that wholeheartedly because going back to when David dies and he changes, he looks very pure.
Yes.
Like almost angelic, and you're just like, what happened to this poor baby? Like, what happened to this boy? And then when it's revealed Max is the head honcho, he's pulling the strings, you're just like, what did you do to this kid, dude? And I
Yeah.
think like he definitely Max probably gave David a lot of false promises, strung him along, amped up his ego to get what he wanted. Like, he's the true manipulator in all of this.
Yeah. And then you wonder, and you don't even think about it at the moment, but now that we're talking about it, I'm like, and who knows about the other boys?
Yeah.
Like the same thing, because Star says it. She admits it. She's like, I always knew that that he was hiding something for somebody else. So Star and Laddie didn't even know. It makes you also wonder, did the other boys know or not, like, about Max? I
don't think they did, because, like, it was mentioned that he was holding on to this secret for a very long time. David was, I should say.
David,
was holding on to this secret for a very long time. But yeah, and this is something I didn't catch on to until adulthood.
Exactly. Yeah. Prepping for the podcast. That's my favorite part. That's one of my favorite parts about this, is us catching things that other people don't catch, and then really paying close attention and watching it wholeheartedly. And I saw that, and when you said that, I was like, I thought the same thing. Yeah, he was so angelic, he was so innocent. All of the bad stuff he did, it just, like, you forgot about it. You forgot that they killed this couple earlier. You forgot that the way he treats Star, the way he's trying to pull in Michael, that how they've been probably terrorizing the town. We don't know if they're we assume they are, right? Because we forgot to mention at the beginning of the movie, like, with the opening scene and the music, we're seeing all these missing posters of people, right?
Oh, that's right.
And they're young people. Most of them are teenagers, if I recall, or young people.
And didn't they zoom into a missing poster of Laddie?
Did they?
I'm pretty certain they do, because, like, it zooms in, and I'm like, oh, is that Laddie?
Oh no!
And I forgot to go back and rewatch.
Oh God! Okay, see, all right, listeners, we all gotta go watch and check for that.
I am pretty certain.
Yeah, again, another clue that I didn't even think about till watching it for the pod. I'm like, oh, look they're showing all these missing people's posters, and it's like they were probably victims of these vampires.
Yep. Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, that's wild, right? So he tells us he wants Lucy, and again goes to this whole back to the Lost Boys from Peter Pan type of thing. But so let's talk about now Grandpa. Grandpa ends up being the hero, though, right?
Oh, Grandpa. I love Grandpa so much.
You gotta go back to the Grandpa. Wait, who's that author? That actor? Barnard Hughes? I don't know what else he's in either, but he's another one. I'm sure if you go to his IMDb, he's been in a lot.
I must say, when he busts in through the house in his automobile and the spikes, I was just like, what in the world is Grandpa doing? But it works out for the best.
Yeah, he drives through his own, breaks down the wall to his own living room with
his own house.
Yeah, his own house with La Cucaracha playing, and he's like, put these spikes on it, right? He knew.
Yeah.
And takes out Max, saves the day, kills the head vampire.
And that's, real quick, that's when I thought, you MFer knew all along.
Yes, he knew.
How dare you? I think he's just so unbothered. He's like, you know what? I'm old as fuck. If it happens, it happens. Whatever. They're not bothering me.
Yeah.
Typical old man behavior. But I was just like, this could have been prevented, sir.
Yeah, my grandma's watched me more than my grandpa's. But my grandma, I'm always having confessional hour during my podcast. Mom, Dad, and my aunts and uncles. When we threw a party one time at my aunt Stella's house, me and my cousins, and my grandma was there watching us. And it's funny because my parents weren't out of town, but my aunt and uncle were out of town, and my cousin and me went to high school together. So we're throwing a party at your house, and they had grandma watching, and grandma's in the house. Who are all these people? Why are they in the backyard? Why are they swimming? We're like, here, grandma, here's some snacks. Watch your show. And we didn't mention when they come back to the house after killing Alex Winter's character, they're carrying Star, right? And she looks like to me, I would have saw them and be like, why are you bringing this passed out girl? What is she on? Is she drunk? Is she on drugs? You're just bringing this girl into the house, and they're just carrying her up the stairs. What up, Grandpa? Whatever. And the grandpa's just whatever. When the whole dinner scene is happening and they're trying to reveal Max is the vampire, he's spying. Like, he's kind of like spying, if I recall. So the grandpa knew this whole time, and he gets the epic last line, and I think you have it, right? Remember he had said earlier, don't touch my root beers. Pops open a root beer, and what does he say, Kristen?
He takes a swig, he looks at his family, and he says, one thing about living in Santa Carla I never could stomach, all the damn vampires. And he's so deadpan, and he He's very matter of fact, and you're just like, Grandpa, you fucking knew, bruh.
This whole time. Really, Grandpa?
Now, figuring out that Max is actually the head vampire is supposed to be like the biggest plot twist, which I can appreciate.
Yeah.
But that to me, I'm like, that's actually a big, huge plot twist too.
Yeah, those were 2 plot twists. I do recall I recall that those were both like, what? And then I was like, this beachy grandpa. I'm sorry, I speak Spanish. This fucking grandpa.
No, isn't it?
I'm like, this fucking grandpa knew the whole time. Yeah.
I
and
know.
then again with preparing for the pod, I'm like, see, he doesn't bat an eye. They're bringing this chick Star into the house. Doesn't bat an eye when they're trying to reveal Max. He just doesn't say anything when they ask him at the beginning, right? Don't the grandsons? They're like, "Why is this the murder capital of the world?" And he's just like, "I don't know."
I don't fucking know.
Yeah,
that's why I said if I ever come back to life as an old man, I want to be as unbothered as Grandpa. Please, that is my. When I grow up, I want to be as unbothered as Grandpa. Honestly. I have some other memorable quotes.
Yes.
If that's okay.
Go for it. Share them.
I love when Sam says, and I quote, "My own brother, a goddamn shit-sucking vampire. Oh, you wait till Mom finds out, buddy."
I love that one too. That's one of my favorites. It's just this like sibling like anger, and it's like most people would be like, "Oh my god, I can't believe you're a vampire," and he's more like, "The nerve of you, I'm telling Mom."
You're gonna be grounded. Like, it is hilarious, and it just really feeds into the fact that like Sam is so innocent and so young, and he doesn't really he doesn't really understand like how scary this is. He's just more like, I'm gonna get you in trouble.
Yeah, he's like, goddamn blood-sucking vampire, whatever he's. Oh my, yeah, that's a great one. Is there any other ones that you really liked?
Yeah, and I love when David said, "Sleep all day, party all night, never grow old, never die. It's fun to be a vampire." And I'm like, that should be on an invitation. That's on my shirt. So I love it.
I gotta show my shirt. It says that on the bottom. Sleep all day, party all night.
It's fun to be a vampire.
Yeah, it's got all of them. So we got the Frog Brothers, we got Michael and Sam, we got David, we got Alex Winter, and then we got the one who dies in the bathtub. And
yes.
The boardwalk with the
roller coaster.
The roller coaster type thing. Yeah.
Even on your shirt, Alan looks like Ralph Macchio.
Oh my god! Okay, for the viewers, if you're listening, I appreciate you listening. But if you have time, go on YouTube and look at my shirt. Oh my god! Yes. I didn't even think about that. You're so right. He totally looks like.
They're doppelgangers.
Yeah,
they are doppelgangers. Real quick, can we talk about how low-key fire Grandpa's maximalist Western wear is?
And the robe. I love his robe.
I'm just like, this man has style. He has grace. He's got the swagger. He's got this chambray snap button shirts. He's got the bolo ties going on. I'm just like, you are a hipster and you don't even know it. Wow. Grandpa is working it.
Again, you listeners have no clue. They can't see me. I'm literally off mic, covering my face into my hand because I've learned when we recorded, we laugh on top of each other. Like we miss a lot of what we're actually.
Yeah, saying. I'm sorry.
You got me. No, it's great. That's why I love this. I love laughing when we record.
and let me correct myself. I said low key fire. Dude is fire. It is fire. Dude is so fire. Like
fire. Period.
Like if Grandpa was still alive right now, he would be listening to like Bright Eyes and like Arctic Monkeys, and he'd have like a little mustache and Warby Parker glasses.
Warby Parker.
Okay.
I just got my contact lenses from Warby Parker because they had a good deal with the discount code. Oh my god, now she's busting up.
Grandpa's a total babe, okay? I'm sorry, babe, but I like really love Grandpa. I'm sorry.
Yeah, no,
He's your competition.
I can feel it. I can feel it.
Yeah. Oh my God. You know, like, yeah, Jason Patrick, babe. Kiefer Sutherland,
Yeah, none of them
babe.
are ugly. None of them are terrible.
No,
Yeah.
very good looking cast, but don't sleep on Grandpa, okay? Also going back to like 80s outfits, I don't know. It's you have to really pay attention. There's this girl. She's a quote unquote boardwalk babe. Mm-hmm. She has this mermaid metallic iridescent like bomber jacket on and tight acid wash jeans and this like layered crop top, chunky jewelry, and it's just like goth Barbie extravaganza. I was like, whoa, where did you get that outfit? I want one.
Oh my
Beautiful.
God. Yeah.
She was gorgeous.
Yeah, if you watch
Gorgeous.
the whole opening sequence, you see some like total 80s outfits.
I
think you even see a Waldo looking guy. Like there's a Where's Waldo looking dude.
And to be honest, Max kind of gives Where's Waldo vibes too with his glasses.
He could totally play Where's Waldo in a live action.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
But when I saw that girl, I was like, she would be
God,
like the epitome of like a Pinterest board in 1987. Like she was, she just captivated me. I was like, I want that outfit.
yeah. I do dig the chicks. Like I have like a few people I found on social media where they still rock the like 80s hair band video girl vibes, and I'm like, oh my God, the feathered hair. I love it. I I heard they cut more of her scene out, but just a little shout out to horror fans. If you notice, I think it's at the comic book shop. Kelly Jo Minter is there, and she's the girl. She plays, I think Lisa is her name, maybe, and she's in The People Under the Stairs. She's in Nightmare on Elm Street 3, and she's in one of my favorite non-horror movies, which I like to argue it's sometimes a horror movie because it has Texas Chainsaw Massacre scenes in it. Summer School. She played Denise in that. So I was like, oh, same thing. She's all looking beautiful and 80s out. I think we put that as one of our questions, was like, whose outfit was the most 80s? I don't know. I think Max too, like when he's his shoulder pads and the like, they're wearing the like blazers. Remember the colorful blazers?
Like Miami Vice.
There you go, Miami Vice vibes.
Leisure suit, yeah. I freaking loved it, and you know, I was thinking a lot about the music too.
Yeah,
and I think like if they didn't use these kind of like hair metal vibes, I don't know if it would hit the same.
No, even though it wasn't my jam per se, it goes, it sticks with the aesthetic.
Right, because I was thinking, I'm like, could they play Duran Duran during this scene? I'm like, nah,
different type of 80s.
Could they play, you know, like Tears for Fears or Bauhaus or anything like that? No. I really
maybe some Depeche Mode or The Cure. I know we're both fans of them for some of the moody parts, but I think the only time they kind of, from what I know, what I can recall, that they stepped out of the decade was when they used People Are Strange. But that worked because Jim Morrison, you could argue Jim Morrison was forever a lost boy himself, right? He died from his drinking. He died young. I think he was 28. You think he's part of what they call the 28-year-old club.
The 27 club.
Kurt Cobain, him, several of them. Yeah, I mean, he was kind of he was known for kind of being him and his girlfriend that he called his wife, even though they weren't technically married. They were into like the witchy vibe, even suspected they in their own way worship the devil. I don't know. I thought it went perfect. Yeah. That was the only time they kind of stepped out of the decade, but it still worked because he had kind of vampy vibes, witchy vampy vibes, and that's how they end it, right? Like after the Grandpa's classic line is just like roll credits, People Are Strange, and I'm like, oh, that went, But maybe for some of the moodiness they could have used, or as Paul likes to call him, he calls them depressed mood instead of Depeche Mode, because they have some kind of
way to call me out, Paul.
I know. I'm always like, oh, I know that. I love Depeche Mode. People follow me on Instagram. I use it a lot on like my back for my music for different things, different stories and things I post. But you're right. The music, I thought it went perfect. Other than, like I said, the song was kind of, I wasn't as much into the Cry Little Sister, but I understood where they went with it.
Same. I don't think it's an amazing song at all. Mm-hmm. I really don't. I can appreciate the soundtrack. Is it my favorite soundtrack? No.
No, not me either.
No. I think I I obviously enjoyed the Scream soundtrack a lot more because that was more of my
we didn't even talk
vibe.
about the music on our episode.
I know. We were so into recapping.
What was a recap? Yeah.
But like, even with Once Bitten, I feel like that soundtrack was more jammable.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
you can move your head.
Yeah, I was like, oh yeah, even like the cheesy dance scene.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, oh, I like that song better than the Cry Little Sister. Sorry if I offend anybody.
No.
I don't really care for it. I don't think it's an amazing theme song.
Yeah. And it's interesting because if you listen to podcasts or the YouTube channels and different things, like people praise that song, and I'm like, again, I get the vibe they were going for with it. It wasn't my favorite choice, but I thought the rest of it, they nailed it. The rest of the soundtrack,
I agree.
Nailed it.
And then I was trying to think what other theme song would go for that. And I was thinking maybe they should have done Looks That Kill by Motley Crue.
Looks That Kill. Oh, I don't know if I'm familiar with that. I'm sure I've heard it as soon as I hear it about, that one. Okay.
Yeah, because it's very like moody and seductive. And I feel like a lot of these scenes, especially like with David,
now I'm Googling
he brings that vibe. And I just feel like maybe that would have suited it better. I don't know. What the fuck do I know? I'm just some 42-year-old lady talking about
We're just nerding out about horror movies.
39 years ago or 38 years ago. Like, whatever. But yeah, 10 out of 10 for me.
Yeah, I love it. I love it. I rewatch it. Like I said, newer viewers might not get it. Most of the movies I talk about on this pod have a nostalgic factor to them, and it's my pod, so talk about what I want to talk about.
Hell yeah!
Yeah, I love it. Anything else before we close up?
The Star and Michael love scene.
It was sexy. And then they go off into the clouds.
Why was this the most romantic love scene I have seen in ages? I was just like, I want to be in the clouds.
Yeah, so apparently when you start banging, it sends you off to the clouds.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's up there with 80s love scenes, like Tangent, Top Gun. Being a kid, I remember being like, what is this?
I was like, wow. Yeah. Like the ethereal like lighting and the soft focus, and it's just like this mythic seductiveness. I'm like, oh, okay. I was like, am I watching Skinamax, like softcore? Like, what is happening? But I could appreciate it. That was my only thing. I was just like,
we forgot to mention they hooked up.
This was the most romantic horror movie sex scene I've ever seen in my life.
See, and I found it romantic and sexy, and then it was like, okay, they're going off into the clouds. Then to me, it was like, okay, now it's getting cheesy, but okay.
But I felt like them going into the clouds. I thought it was them going off like that was almost like adding to the Peter Pan aspect. I don't know. I kind of felt like that. Okay, like it was feeding into that. But anyway, that's my
into the like they weren't quite vampires, but like they could have this. They would maybe have this power eventually to fly like the other ones. Yeah, you're right. The Peter Pan thing. Okay.
They were like, if we have each other, we could fly anywhere. I don't know. I'm so cheesy, but yeah, I could really appreciate it. You know, kudos to Joel Schumacher. You did it again.
Yeah.
You did it again, sir. And long live Grandpa. Those are my final notes.
Watch out, guys. He's hollered at the grandpa.
Yeah. He's probably dead now, but you know that. I got a Ouija board. We gotta look. Oh boy.
Yeah. Oh man. Well, thank you, Kristen. I hope everybody enjoyed this. We hope our dialogue wasn't too dreadful as we covered 1987, The Lost Boys. We both loved it. I love it. Clearly, I got the shirt and we're talking about it on the pod. But if you're looking for more content, you can check out dreadfuldialogue.com, and I'm also on Instagram, Dreadful Dialogue Podcast. And with that, thank you and have a good one. Thank you, Kristen.
Thanks for having me. Bye.
Bye.